Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses the lesson this evening, gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, I wanted to share this information here that was shared with me by Brother the 12, and it just helps to connect the information that we spread here on the last, or we shared here on the last video, talking about the land of Mu. And that kind of like being the key to making these connections between what's going on in Central America and over here also in Asia. Got thousands of miles away, two ancient temples built by two ancient civilizations. Two mesmerizing structures erected with uncanny similarities. Do they share the same blueprint? So we got Lost Temples rising first. The incredible and unique 11th century CE Baxi Chamkrong is a pyramid-shaped Shiva temple located in Angkor region, Siem Reap, Cambodia. Bears an uncanny resemblance to the second 8th century CE Mayan pyramids, Maya Tikal Temple in Guatemala. Yeah, okay. So now let's take a look here real quick here at the book, The Lost Continent of Mu. Not going to read all of it, but I took a lot of pictures so you guys can read it and do some research on your own. I was going to read just some parts of it, okay? Just kind of making these connections. Records of this lost continent. The records referring to the land of Mu are many and various. Among the written records are some that tell us a man made his advent on earth in the land of Mu. The Nakal tablets, for instance. Other records give us the geographical position of this lost continent. The American written records, which are many, tell us that the land of Mu lay to the west of America. The Asiatic records all say Mu, the motherland, lay to the east of Asia, towards the rising sun. Therefore, the motherland of man, being between America and Asia, lay in the Pacific Ocean. And here we find on the islands stone remains of her great cities and temples, and also a white race. And, there they are, always trying to, make this about race. And they always tell us that we're trying to make things about race, but in all these older books, they're always trying to put themselves as the originators of everything. But we already know about that, so we can just dismiss it and keep it moving. I will first take the American written records, commencing with the Troano manuscript, an ancient Mayan book written in Yucatan. Its age has been estimated to be from 1500 to 5,000 years old. I think it is between 1,500 and 3,000 years old. I base this on the form of its writing. I herewith present several extracts from the Troano, manuscript that will conclusively prove the correctness of my contention regarding Mu. And you can read that part right there on your own, okay? I'm sharing some of this information. You guys can read it on your own and do some more, research on your own here. But you do get this part right here. Geologically, it will be positively shown that the description, the country of the hills of earth, is absolutely correct and accounts for the quarries that are to be found on Easter Island. The birthplace of the sacred mysteries, Mu, the lands of the West, that land of Kui, the motherland of the gods. Okay. So let's continue. The lands of the West were the land of Kui right here. This extract is the most important passage known, referring to the motherland of man, for it has already been shown that the geographical name of the motherland of man was the lands was the lands of the West. And as the Troano manuscript was written in America, it also shows that the lands of the West lay to the west of America. Many records will be brought forward confirming the fact that the motherland of man lay to the west of America. The land of Kui means the land of departed souls. The Egyptian Ka, with its extended meaning, comes out of the Maya Kui. In ancient times, God did not mean the deity. It referred to the soul of a departed one. Thus, the motherland of the gods, mentioned in the manuscript, means by extension the motherland of man. Okay. Sir Gardner Wilkinson, the great Egyptologist, in his book Manners and Customs, Volume 3, page 70, says Kui land, or the land of Kui, according to the Maya language, was the birthplace of the goddess Maya, the mother of the gods and of man. Okay. Extract 2, by the way, it is corroborated many times in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. So you can check this out, a plate from the Codex Cortesianus. You can check that out right there. You got some more plate from the Codex Cortesianus again. Right there, so you can check those out. Records of this lost continent. Okay. Codex Cortesianus. The Codex Cortesianus is another of the old Maya books that escaped the eyes of the fanatical Bishop Blanda. And you say, the Spanish got here and they're just burning all this information left and right, trying to hide all this history. This book is now in the National Museum of Madrid, Spain. The characters, figures, and writings would indicate that it is about the same age as the Troano manuscript. The language of the Codex Cortesianus, however, is much more symbolical than that of the Troano manuscript. Here are some extracts from it, bearing on our subject. By his strong arm, Homan caused the earth to tremble. After sunset and during the night, Mu, the country of the hills of the earth, was submerged. Mu, the life of the basin, seas, was submerged by Homan during the night. The place of the dead ruler is now lifeless. It moves no more, after having twice jumped from its foundations. The kings of the deep, while forcing his way out, has shaken it up and down, has killed it, has submerged it. Twice Mu jumped from her foundations, and it was then sacrificed by fire. It burst while being shaken up and down violently by earthquakes. By kicking it, the wizard that makes all things move like a mass of worms sacrificed it that very night. It is self-evident that both the Codex Cortesianus and the Toronto manuscript were written from the same temple record. The Codex Cortesianus gives the land its heretical name only, while the Toronto manuscript gives both its heretical and geographical names. The Lhasa Record. This record was discovered by Schliemann of the old Buddhist temple of Lhasa, Tibet. Schliemann deciphered and translated it. It is very evidently only does not come from the same original record as do the Toronto manuscripts and the Codex Cartesianus. It is more modern and is not written in Mayan characters. Here is an interesting extract from the Lhasa record. When a star of Baal fell on the place where now is only the sky and the sea, the seven cities with their golden gates and transparent temples quivered and shook like the leaves in a storm. And behold, a flood of fire and smoke arose from the palaces. Agonies and cries of the multitude filled the air. They sought refuge in their temples and citadels, and the wise Mu, the heretic Ra Mu, arose and said to them, "Did I not predict all this?" And the women and the men in their precious stones and shining garments lamented Mu, "Save us." And Mu replied, "You shall all die together with your servants and your riches. And from your ashes new nations shall arise. If they forget they are superior, not because of what they put on, but what they put out, the same will befall them." Flames and smoke choked the words of Mu. The land and its inhabitants were torn to pieces and swallowed up by the depths. So it seems as if this is like a warning, that this is going to befall the others if they follow the same ways of the people that were on the island of Mu. So you shall all die together with your servants and your riches. and from your ashes new nations shall arise. If they forget they are superior not because of what they put on, but what they put out, the same will befall them. And that's what's happened with society. They are not looking at what, the things that they've done, the things that they've produced. They seem to think they still deserve to be raptured away. The things that they've done doesn't matter. Their history doesn't matter. None of the things that your forefathers have done, matters. And but we know that's not the case. See, that's why they try to make it seem like prophecies are all their prophecies are now being fulfilled, and things that happened before don't matter. But that's not the case. Like I said, we've been the example. We fell off. We didn't do what we were supposed to do, and we were punished for that. And that's now going to befall the rest of the other nations, and they still are trying their best to run away from their destiny. Baal is a Maya word meaning Lord of the Fields. Transparent temples is without doubt a mistranslation. Okay, these temples were not built of glass or any other transparent substance. They were open or roofless temples, so constructed that the rays of Ra, the sun, could fall upon the heads of those who were in prayer and supplication within the temple, like the Parsi temples of today. Lepongyan found records in Yucatan stating that the heretic head of the land of Mu prophesied its destruction, and that some, heeding the prophecy, left and went to the colonies where they were saved. And that's where you see, I guess, the examples of these temples being built in America, over there in Asia as well, in Cambodia, and how they're similar because they had the same origination point, the motherland, the land of Mu. Lepongyan's death occurred many years before Schliemann published the Lhasa Record. Uxmal Temple. This temple is situated at Uxmal, Yucatan, and has been named by Lepongyan the Temple of Sacred Mysteries. On its walls, there is an important inscription which reads, "This edifice is a commemorative monument dedicated to the memory of Mu, the lands of the West, the land of Kui, the birthplace of our sacred mysteries." This temple is built facing west, where the motherland once stood. The inscription quoted is a full corroboration of the second extract from the Toronto manuscript and confirms the other records, which state that the motherland lay to the west of America. Further, and this is most important, it tells us that the religious teachings of this temple came from there. So that whatever we find here, we know originated in Mu, the lands of the West. With this information, we can trace the Egyptian religion and learning back to its source. Mexican pyramid. This pyramid is at Chiexicalo to the southwest of Mexico City. There is an inscription in it, which Lepongyan has translated as follows. This pyramid is a commemorative monument raised to perpetuate the destruction, okay, of the lands of the West among coming generations. Okay, so these temples were pretty much a warning about, hey, look at what happened to us. We were an advanced civilization, and we lost our way, and we were taken down. And if you follow our footsteps and do the same things, the exact same things are going to happen to you. And the other nations, these entities that control the other nations don't want them to realize that they've made those same mistakes. They have not been following the Most High. They've been going their own way. They've been persecuting the children of the Most High. And now death and destruction is coming for them. Al-Kab Dazib here in the city of Chichen Itza, there is a slab which forms the lintel of the door and the inner chamber at the southern end of the building called Al-Kab Dazib. Here we have the the tenebrous record. This slab, and I guess we're going to have to continue that part on another time. Okay? But now you kind of see how you have these structures separated by oceans that are very similar, and now you're seeing that there was a motherland that was actually the basis of all this information that has been hidden. And now it makes more sense as to why when the Spaniards got over here, they started renaming everything. They started saying that these we found this place on accident. We didn't mean to come over here. It's not fulfilling prophecy. We're now the fulfilling prophecy now. But as you can see, the Most High is giving us more and more understanding, more and more information, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're growing. The Most High has the Holy Spirit breathing through the all and awakening her people, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now. So this information is just it's crucial to being able to connect the people that were going to these colonies and establishing these places, and spreading this knowledge and understanding. And we'll get into Egypt as well, because Egypt, it shows you that they were learning from the colonists that were traveling from the motherland. And that's how actually in the last video we talked about that, how Egypt got their information from the people that came from the land of Mu. So like I said, now it's starting to make sense as to where this information and where this understanding came from. All praised to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.